Mr. President, Senate Resolution 157 is offered by Senator Shirkey, a resolution of tribute for the Honorable Peter MacGregor. Whereas it is with great honor to congratulate Senator Peter MacGregor as he concludes his service in this legislative body and takes on his new role as Kent County Treasurer. Senator MacGregor's hard work and commitment to improving the lives of the 28th District and our entire state have been a great asset to the Senate during his time in office. And whereas a graduate of Michigan State University, Senator MacGregor has long been active in public life in his Kent County community. He served as a township trustee, supervisor, and planning commissioner in Cannon Township, and served 2 terms in the House of Representatives before his election to the Senate in 2014. Senator MacGregor was also a longtime small business owner. And whereas Senator MacGregor has played an important role shaping policy and shepherding the work of this legislative body during his 6 years in the Senate, including as lead sponsor of more than 4 dozen public acts. He has been a critical member of the Appropriations Committee for his entire tenure in the Senate, serving as vice chair of the committee and on the Senate Fiscal Agency Governing Board during his first term. He has been chair and vice chair of the Health and Human Services Subcommittee and a member of the Capital Outlay, Environmental Quality, Higher Education, and Transportation Subcommittees. In addition, he has served as a chair of the Oversight Committee and as a member of the Banking and Financial Institutions, Commerce, Economic Development and International Investment, Economic and Small Business Development, and Regulatory Reform Committees. His colleagues have also relied on him to manage the flow of legislation on the Senate floor during the current term, electing him Majority Floor Leader. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate that we offer this expression of tribute to commend and thank the Honorable Peter MacGregor for his notable contributions to this legislative body and our state. And be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be transmitted to Senator MacGregor as evidence of our gratitude and best wishes. The rules have been suspended to allow for immediate consideration of the resolution. There are no amendments pending to the adoption of Senate Resolution 157.
Questions on the adoption of Senate Resolution 157? Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes have it just barely. And the resolution is adopted. The President now recognizes Majority Floor Leader MacGruber.
I have some allergies, so bear with me. You'd think I'd serve on every committee with that. And thank you for the MacGruber. I answer pretty much to anything, but that's awesome. I just lost the over-under of getting choked up. So someone just made a ton of money on the over-under, so I apologize for those who thought I could make it more than 3 minutes. 30 seconds exactly. I'm definitely not looking, I wasn't looking forward to having to do this because it meant that the conclusion of what I love is nearing. And my time here is almost over. So please bear with me. It's those allergies in the winter, I tell you, they kill me. These speeches can get quite emotional at times, and I believe that there's going to be moments here that you're going to just have to bear with me, but I keep telling myself there's no crying in baseball, right? There's no crying in baseball. Great movie for those who love movies, League of Their Own. So keep thinking there's no crying in baseball. It's tough to leave something that you love. In this case, a job or a passion. And I'm not, excuse me, I'm not a fan of farewells or goodbyes. I'm more of a until we meet again type of person. So these speeches, this is not a farewell speech. This is going to be, hopefully, a short speech, if I can get through it here. And it's my thank you speech to the many of you who I've had the privilege and honor of working with in this wonderful institution, the State Senate. Before I start thanking specific people, and I won't thank you all, but you're all in my heart, I do think it's important to express what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for being able to do the work I love. I'm thankful for the friends that keep me laughing, especially those that said no, and they also keep me grounded. I'm thankful for the freedoms that I have in this great country and this great state, and I'm thankful for God's grace and the joy it brings to me. So, here I go, Mr. President. Many of you are hoping for some comical relief or some funny stories that I'd love to tell, but unfortunately, or maybe I should say fortunately, I must respect the decorum of this institution. And most of my stories over the last 6 years would just end up embarrassing my friend from the 37th District. And I'm not going to try and bore you and have a long, drawn-out speech about my accomplishments or some inside jokes that only one or two can laugh about, or even some personal stories that I've been part of since 2011 and serving in the legislature. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, but those type of memories are for me only. For me to remember and enjoy over the rest of my life. And now that I've said that and sense a sigh of relief, I want to say you're welcome, Wayne and Jim and Mike and Patty, for not embarrassing you today. Mr. President, colleagues, over time, you and I will probably forget what we've done together or what we've said to each other, good and bad, during the time that we've spent here, and that's okay. That's why we keep records and have journals. What the journals cannot capture are relationships, the fellowship that we have amongst each other. And I'll never forget how this institution has made me feel, and more specifically, the awesome impression that the people who I've had the pleasure of working with have given me over the last 6 years here in the Senate. Still gives me chills every time in session that we start with an invocation and then the Pledge of Allegiance. I hope we never lose that. I do want to start with a thank you to those who have worked so hard behind the scenes, and everybody talks about it in their thank you speech. But I just think it's so important that this body works so efficiently and functions seems like effortlessly. I want to thank the support staff, the amazing maintenance staff, the facility staff, the people who clean up after us, the remarkable docents. Even under these situations, they're still giving tours. The awesome session staff. The IT staff I want to thank. Boy, do they have a lot of patience, especially for those who are over 30. I want to thank the clerks to help us run our policy and appropriations meetings, our photographers, our communications team, our sergeants, Mike Furlan and his team. And I don't know, Gary, you got to be violating something. Not sure what it is. Probably just good taste. I don't know. And of course, I want to thank our Senate Fiscal Agency and the Senate policy teams. It's really been a pleasure, and I really apologize if I miss someone. It's not my intent. I've been part of a few great teams here in the Senate, and I'm a huge believer that teamwork and exchanging of those ideas provide a clear vision and can help any challenge that is in front of us if you have a good team. A strong team makes being a leader much more efficient, much more easier. As a senator, it is my job to learn a little bit about everything from the people who know everything about something. It's the strength of the team that creates success. One of those teams that I'm proud to be part of is the DHHS appropriations team. So I do need to give a shout out to a few people all the people on that team, because it's so important, because without you, this whole thing would have been futile and I would have bombed miserably. Obviously, Patty helped command this ship, but I'll get to you in a little bit. I want to thank Steve Angelotti, John Maxwell, Ellen Ackerman, all from our Senate Fiscal Agency, for keeping me focused and on track during the budget process, and for being instrumental and invaluable fiscal gurus. It is amazing what they know and the knowledge that they have and have to retain. Thank you. Thank you to Carmen Siciliano and Danielle Devine, both in our Republican policy team, who always kept me prepared, informed, helped me figure out those narratives that were very, very complex, helped with all those difficult issues within the budget. These are all wonderful advisors and awesome teammates. The DHHS Dream Team never complained about the work that I asked them to do, which was most of it, and they never complained about the crazy schedule it took to put that massive budget together. They never said no to a challenge that I gave them. Thank you for helping me be a successful appropriations subcommittee chair. Two other, excuse me, allergies, I tell you. Two other Senate Republican policy members that I enjoyed working with over the past few years, not only because their excellent work ethic, but because they never stopped helping me. Thank you, Nikki Brown, Tom Davis. Thank you both for always guiding me through some really difficult legislation and complicated appropriations. I really appreciate all your help. Thank you. One other specific person from the policy team that I want to say thank you to is someone who I will always think more of as a friend or even a brother than a work colleague. I've known and worked with Dan Dundas since I first took office in 2011. He taught me a lot about the importance of helping the most vulnerable populations, as well as good public policy. And maybe together we've witnessed a couple very awkward meetings with some certain department directors. Dan and I have worked on lots of issues over the last decade, and I really can't say enough about him and our work together. I appreciate you always having my back, Dan. Thank you. There's so many more people that I'd personally like to give thanks or a shout out to, but it just isn't feasible. There's too many of them. But a shout out isn't personal enough for me, and time is running out. So there's still some in this room, some in the House chamber, some representatives like Affidulis and Heisinger and Brand and Albert, some individuals in the lobby, some on the tiles, some that are listening in their office or from their home. Some are former colleagues and some are former staff. I hope to touch base with you during the next few days and over the Christmas break to personally thank you. I've built lots of bonds and friendships over the past 10 years, and there just isn't enough time to mention each and every one of them. But Mike Shirkey, Jim Thomas, Wayne Schmidt, Ken Horn, Dale Zorn, we're all part of the class of 2014 that came back. Thank you for your support, and especially your trust, your loyalty, and your friendship. I hope to stay close to each and every one of you over the coming years. And most importantly, I will certainly need your help to appoint someone else to pick on Wayne. And I know I pick on my friend from the 37th district a lot, and maybe too much, but it's simply because the senator from the 33rd district is way too easy to pick on. It's like shooting fish in the barrel over there. However, on a more serious note, I want you to know that I really do appreciate the respect and the kindness, as well as this humor, that the senator from the 37th district offers to all. Wayne, excuse me, Wayne, you have a servant's heart, and I'll definitely miss that. And you, Ed Big Broom, nice tie, Rick Outman, Eric Nesbitt, John Bunstead, as well as our Secretary of Senate, Margaret O'Brien. We were all part of that same freshman class from 2010, the 2010 election. We helped create an incredible environment for our citizens in the state while in the House. Knowing that you are here in the Senate gives me hope and confidence for our state. Thank you. My friend from the 35th district, Kurt, you are one of the most authentic individuals I know, both on the field and off. Thank you for your friendship. Another friend that I know, I've known my whole time here, he's been kind of a mentor. He's from the 36th district, Jim. Thanks for always looking out for me and being a friend. Mr. Majority Leader, YAFWYALF-ish, LMNOP. Well, you know what it means. Thank you. Thank you for the confidence in me and trusting me. And you had undeniably made me a better legislator. You always bring out the strength in others. Thank you, sir. My friends from the 27th and the 23rd district, you probably thought I forgot about you. Thanks for understanding that friendship is deeper than political differences. Thanks for understanding that it's all right to have different opinions and that we can still respect each other. Thank you. Senator Lowers, the new floor leader, good luck. Good luck taking over this motley crew. It's rough. The session staff is absolutely amazing. It'll be a smooth transition. And now Ken can have you spitting on the back of his head instead of me. Jeremy Henges, you probably have one of the hardest jobs in this building. I want you to know that you and your team have been a pleasure to work with over the past year. You, Connor, Matt, Amber, Darren, and Bill, job well done. I'm getting there. The last few people that I want to thank are the hardest. These are the individuals who are more than just staff to me. This is my team. They are the unsung heroes of the 28th district. My success originates with my team. Hannah Kissling, thank you for being on the front lines for me. It's a thankless job, but I want to thank you. Thank you for being the solid gatekeeper and for listening, committing, and following through to all the constituents in the 28th District. Rob Verheulen, thank you for being my eyes, my ears, my voice in my district for the past 2 years. The term statesman comes to mind when I think of Rob. Anyone who has ever worked with him understands what I'm talking about. Skilled, respected, and experienced, and he always plays by the rules. Thank you, Rob. Leah Maher, my LD. She's now joined another team, and it'll never be as good as her first team with me, but that's all right. She's with Senator Stamas now, but Leah is the one who made me look good in front of all the committee hearings. She prepared me. In fact, she always over-prepared me for every meeting, every hearing, every speech, every engagement. Leah always gave me 100%. Even her family helped. Her daughters never missed a parade. It was awesome. Thank you, Leah, for your commitment, your dedication, and your compassion. Amy Shaw. My success here in this chamber is because of you. Your understanding of the protocols, the procedures, the motions, the rules, it's mind-boggling. You're so valuable to this chamber and to me. I appreciate the work that you do to make my job as floor leader look easy. There aren't many people who get or even understand my sense of humor. It's kind of an acquired taste. But Amy is one who does, and I treasure that bond. Thank you, Amy. Patty Hartrich, always working for me, and she always tells me that too. Pete, I'm always working for you, and that's awesome. Words like intelligent, dependable, knowledgeable, trustworthy, and compassionate are just a start describing Patty. Great chiefs not only aim to always be sure that you are prepared and sound intelligent, but they're always willing to take all those arrows and the heat off the boss when the stuff hits the fan. I value and cherish your loyalty, and especially your friendship. You have been my conscience here in Lansing, and someone who I can always count on. You are so enjoyable to work with and pick on. She's so gullible. I will miss your unselfishness, your thoughtfulness, and your devotion to the team. Thank you, Patty. I love what I do. I hold dear to the people I work with. I pray that I have not let the 5 of you down. You will always be my team, and I will miss working with you all. So, Mr. President, I'm nearing the end, so please bear with me for just a moment longer. You'll be able to hear from repeat after this. I also want to thank the citizens from the 28th District in Kent County, the people who entrusted me with their representation. Without that trust, I wouldn't be here. So many who have helped me in the campaign and many who have helped me with policy and legislation. I'm so grateful to all those who have helped me serve here in the legislature. There are 2 constituents I specifically need to mention out of the 290,000 out there, but 2 that I need to talk about. 2 neighbors who just thought, hey, let's stop by the corner bar in Rockford, Michigan and enjoy 1 or 2 adult beverages. Sure, no problem. 3 of us went in. Little did I know that it was a setup. I bit that hook hard, and boy, did they land a lunker. Bill Jackson and Dave Billardell, thank you. If not for these 2 friends convincing me to run for state office 12 years ago, almost to the day, I would have never been here and had the honor to serve the constituents of the 28th District. Thank you, gentlemen. Finally, and most importantly, I need to thank and voice how lucky and grateful I am. I have a family who stood next to me. Well, they couldn't be here today, I'm sorry. I have a family that stood next to me the last 12 years, during good times and during really difficult times, both on the campaign trail and in the legislature. My wife, for almost 29 years, Christine, many of you who have met her or know her as Chrissy. She couldn't be here today, and that's all right. And my 3 sons, Patrick, John, and Matthew. Thank you for your love, your support, your patience, and especially keeping me humble. Mr. President, I'd like to close with 2 favorite quotes of mine. As much as I wanted them to be or have a quote from the movie Tommy Boy, it's not. But these quotes hit the nail on the head regarding serving in this chamber. One by a former president, the 26th president, and the other by a great author. The first quote goes along with a phrase that I often use here in the Senate, and it's all started because of some inappropriate words my boys used at the dinner table. The first quote by President Theodore Roosevelt, one of my favorite presidents, goes like this: "The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people." The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Simply put, I think Teddy was telling us to don't be a, I don't know if I should say it, but I'm going to. Don't be a Richard. It's amazing. Getting along with others is so important. Mr. President, sometimes an opportunity comes along that forces a consideration for change, and that change is a sacrifice, but it's only a sacrifice when we give up something that is great in hopes for something that is better. I'm unquestionably leaving this chamber as a better listener, and I always have strived to be the voice of reason and compassion as a legislator. My advice to colleagues, both present and future, is that this job does not and should not ever define you. And the oath that we took does not make the person. The person makes the oath that we took. My second favorite quote is one that comes from a mastermind of a storyteller, Dr. Seuss. He wrote, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." Mr. President, happiness is a choice, and I have no regrets. I'm still as happy leaving this chamber as I was coming in. It's been an honor to serve here, and until next time we meet again, thank you, Mr. Leader and Mr. President.